what's good? It's your girl Kera Jaay and I'm here with another video for you today. As you can see from the title, yes bitch, I got it. I went to my local Sephora yesterday and I was like walking around the store like, where's the display though? Like, I thought I was lost. I thought my mind was gone. I thought I walked around the store 5 times and didn't see it and I was just like blind, or it wasn't there. But they did not have it on the floor. If you go to your local Sephora and you do not see the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette on the floor, ask somebody. I don't think a lot of the places have them merchandised on the floor with their sample, swatch tester, everything, all that good stuff in the Anastasia section as of yet. I don't know why that is. Maybe because there's so much controversy around it. Maybe they don't have space in their lineup for it yet. Maybe they haven't got the fixtures to organize how they want to set it up in the stores. I don't know what that's about. But I asked a lady working at Sephora and she pointed me right to where I was in front of the Modern Renaissance palette, and she pulled open that drawer and she asked me if I want to swatch it or if I want to buy it, and of course I did both because that is the smart thing to do. The lovely thing about Sephora, if this palette is trash, I can return it and there is no harm, no foul in that. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. You all have already seen it, I'm sure. You just want to see my opinion, my perspective, how I find the blendability, the quality, all of that fun stuff, being that y'all know my makeup level skillage and you could probably relate to me, some of you, and you want to see if the palette is worth your money for your skill level, or if that even makes a difference, because everyone's saying it does. If it does, I don't know. I haven't tried it. We will see. I did swatch this palette yesterday when I first got it. I will probably insert my Snapchats. I really can't speak. My Snapchats into this video at some point. This will probably be a long video because I'm going to go through all the swatches with you, and I'm going to do an eye makeup look using the palette, so bear with me. Get a drink, get something to snack on. Like, you're going to need something. You're going to be a little bit like, you know, you might get bored of watching me if you're not like distracted in some way. So let's get right in. This is what it looks like in the box. This is the back of the box. Sure y'all have seen it. Mine is in the P7G11 batch. So I heard the P7 blah 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 is a good batch. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have heard from more than one place that the P7 blah 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 is one of the better batches of the formula, and whichever else it is not so good. So we'll see. Popping open the box, I said that I've swatched this already, so I'm just gonna like pop it back open for you guys. This is what it looks like. This is my first Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. I do have other Anastasia Beverly Hills products, such as their stick foundation, which I love, their dip brow, which I love, and their brow wiz, which I also love. So this is my first Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette. I also do have a liquid lipstick from them, which is also really good. So I have high hopes for this. I knew that I had to buy this palette as soon as I saw it because I was in love with the colors so much. This is what it looks like. You can see that I've swatched mine. There goes the brush. I did not use it. But that is what it looks like. 14 shades. And yeah, we're going to do makeup look with it. We're going to do some swatches. I don't tend to do brush swatches, but I think I may, just because I think I may. I'm going to use some new brushes that I have not used yet, that I purchased today. These are still brushes, and these are at Walmart. I got it for $2.94 each, if I'm not mistaken. So each of these was $2.94. And I'm going to use these to do the brush swatches because they are so soft, and I just want to see how the fallout is and all that stuff. So we'll get started with that. Let's move on to the swatches. I will go row by row. On Snapchat, I did not go row by row. I went like this. I went down, and I kind of messed up. So like, if you're trying to like, no, I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to mess up this time. And let's get started with these swatches. So starting on the first row, we have the shade Cube. Cube is a white duochromed pink shade. It is very, 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 like, on my finger you can't really see it that well. Like, you can see it's there, but you can't really see that it's there. go ahead and give that a swatch. So it's barely there. With flash it shows more, you'll see on my Snapchat, but that's the shade Cube. It's barely there. Moving on to the shade Dawn beside it. This is like a beige peach shade, which is matte. And that's what it looks like. It is so pigmented, it's crazy. All these matte shadows are so pigmented, they are crazy. Some do feel grittier than others, like the darker blue greens, they're grittier, but the really light ones are really, really soft. So, moving on to the shade Destiny, which looks like a army green, but it kind of comes up grayish on a swatch. So it looks like a pure olive, but it doesn't really look like a pure olive when it's actually swatched. You can see the gray undertone in that shade. The pigmentation is crazy. I'm wiping my fingers off with a paper towel that's dry, so that's how my swatches are being separated. This next shade is the only metallic shade in this palette, and it is called Adorn. It is like a very nice bronze metallic shade. That's what it looks like. And that's what it looks like on my skin tone. I thought this palette was so women of color friendly, it was not even funny. I saw it, I said I could rock all of those shades. I need that palette in my life. I need it. So I bought it. This next shade here we have is All Star. It is like a burgundy shade, a matte brick burgundy. And that's what it's looking like on my finger. Let's get that down under here. And that's what that looks like. You can see I can make a look with these colors alone. I probably won't, but I could. I actually want to do like a four square type makeup look type thing with these and see how it turns out. But I think that it would look so cute. Not all on the same look, but different looks using the... You'll get what I'm saying at some point when I do it. But anyways, I'm just talking. Moving on, we have the shade Mercury. It is kind of a gray toned, brown toned matte color. I think it's really cute. It's similar to Destiny, but not that close. It's more on the gray side. You can see the difference. But that's Mercury, and we're going to move on to the last shade in this row, Axis. This one is more grittier, but it is so pigmented and so good. I have a lot of pigment on my finger. I shouldn't have swirled it in like that. But you can see like the kick up is not that crazy. Like I don't have that much kick up going on. Obviously I'm doing soft finger swatches. I'm not digging my brush into it at all. I'm not tapping a brush on it, so it may perform differently when I start putting my brushes in the shadow. But we'll see. So this is Axis. I have too much pigment. I have way too much pigment for that one. But that's what it looks like. You can kind of see it a little bit blended out because I had way too much going on. So that's the first row. I'm going to clean off my arm and then I'll give you the second row. Alright, moving on to the last row of this Subculture palette. We have the shade Roxy, which is a nice soft peach shade. That's what it looks like on my finger. And we'll get that right here. My arm is dry, no primer, no nothing. That's what it looks like. Moving on to the next Duo Cream. I really cannot speak. Guys, it's been a while I haven't recorded in front of a camera. It's been a while I have been speaking properly. So please bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really am. This next duochrome shade, okay? Duochrome shade. Electric. My electric came looking like this. I don't know if you'll be able to see. When I open my palette, I have Snapchat proof too. You can see how it kind of looks like that hard pan type thing they be talking about where you have to scrape past it. My palette came looking like that. So, but it doesn't feel like that. So it looks like it has that hard pan scratchy type feel, but it doesn't actually feel like it does. It may hit there soon. It is definitely stiffer than any of the matte shades, of course. That's what it looks like on my finger, and going down to the swatch, that's what it looks like. It's more pigmented than Cube, but it also may be the tone that is not blending in with my skin as much as Cube did. Who knows? This next shade we have here is Fudge, this beautiful chocolate brown shade, which is also a matte. And that's what it looks like on my finger. And just watch that. That's Fudge. So beautiful, so pigmented, super soft, and I can't wait to see how these work on my eyes. I'm so excited. This next shade I was so hype about is New Wave. This is an orangey type yellow, and it's like a tangerine really. Super pretty. And let's get that right there. It's beautiful. Just so beautiful. I love this shade. I hope it performs well on my eyes, and I hope it shows up really well on my skin tone, but it's all hopes. We will see when I actually try it, which will be soon, like right now, like after, like right after this, like right after this. All right. This next shade, Untamed, is a darker forest green. Axis is more a turquoisey green. This is more like a true forest green. Also a matte shade. And we will get that right there. It looks more blue toned in my camera, but it's more foresty green than Axis is. That's what it looks like. Next we have the shade Edge, which is it's kind of a bright dull yellow, if that makes any type of sense. But it's a yellow shade. It's not like bam bam yellow, but it's not like grandma yellow. It's kind of like in between. So that's how I would describe it anyway. It's kind of like an orangey yellow as well, but it's definitely lighter than New Wave. So that's what it looks like. It's almost a mustardy type of yellow. Yeah, that's how I would say. It comes up. The swatches are really, really good. I like how the shadows feel, except for Electric. And yeah, this last shade here we have is Rowdy, which is a really dark eggplant plum purple, which kind of looks brown, but it's really not. So that's what it looks like on my finger. And the swatch for that is right there. So it's super, super deep. It reminds me of Noche, I want to say, in ColourPop. In I Love Sarai's collection, it looks like that to me. Similar. So yeah, that's all the shades of the modern of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I don't know why I was saying Modern Renaissance. I don't even have that palette. Now, to move on to the eye makeup look, I am not going to talk through it at all. I don't think. I'll probably just have my final thoughts at the end, and you'll see my facial expressions if something is going off or I don't like how things are working. But I'm obviously going to do my eyes first, and then I'll finish my complete face. I will try and have timestamps below if you just want to see certain parts of this video, which you've already seen the swatches. So if you want to see the makeup look, you can stay tuned for that. If not, I thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that goldfish. If you're going to stay till the end of this tutorial to see my final thoughts, I thank you for staying with me, and let's get started.
I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way.
the look is done. These are the thoughts that I have for my first impression using these on my eyes. This Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. That's the look I created, as you can see. And to recap, the shades that I used were Roxy, Cube, Electric, Dawn, Fudge, New Wave, All Star, Axis, Edge, and I think that's it. I didn't use any dark shades. I didn't use most of the green shades. I just kind of tested out whatever I could and made this eye look come about with it. Overall, I would give this palette a pass. I really would. I did not have any more trouble than I usually would blending out eyeshadows. I don't know if that's just my technique or what. I did not find these shadows hard to work with. I did not find that they had excessive fallout. You can see what my palette looks like after using it. Roxy is not super powdery like a lot of people's were. And overall, my shades did not muddy up together. Then again, I didn't use shades that would counteract like that. All the shades that I used are pretty much in the same family, and they will blend into each other instead of fight against each other. So that's what I came up with. And I am in love with this palette. I actually love it. I can't wait to do brighter looks with it and see what kind of other looks I can come up with this palette. But overall, for a first impression, I really like it. It's really soft, really pigmented. The payoff is really nice. The shades that I don't like as much are the duochrome ones. They're not as bam as they should be, in my opinion. But the matte shades are really nice and pigmented, blendable, creamy, beautiful. Like, they're Ertang. They're everything to me. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and demo of using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that goldfish, and I will see you in my next video.